Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Juliana Carico and you're watching Bloom with Juliana. It's been a while. Today I want to talk about my faith journey as a born again Christian, as a young professional. And this video is inspired by something that recently happened at work. So the other week, a few days ago actually, we had our monthly team meeting, and I was tasked with the responsibility to present the monthly report. And so, in this instance, the expectation of everyone was for me to stand up, say my name, and go right into the numbers. But for some reason, when I stood up, I felt pushed to say that I was a born again Christian. The reactions were mixed, and I kind of expected it, but I didn't expect how it happened, at least not that much. So I stand up, and as I introduce myself, I'm like, I'm Juliana Carico and I'm born again. And before I continue, people laugh dismissively, others are just quiet or just wondering, why do you need to say that? But what caught my attention even more is one of the managers asking me to repeat the introduction again, which I did. And this experience has caused me to really think about a number of things, especially about standing firm on our faith and beliefs in the workplace. And thinking about it over the last few days, I now see how, the verse that says that, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. That is Romans chapter 1, verse 16. And it calls me back to just thinking about it and how it's important that I'm not ashamed of the gospel at work, that I'm able to stand up firm and say that I'm a born again Christian. And this is not easy. Putting it into, it was nerve-wracking just to say it, or rather not saying it, but after I said it, there were some nerves that just swirled around my mind and my body, and just it felt surreal for a moment. And the realization of what I had done. Yes, a number of people had heard me talk about me. Okay, they knew that I was born again, and the expectation is we were all Christians, especially in that group. I think all of us profess to be Christians, but that is beyond the point. This experience caused me to really think about a number of things, and the fact that we spend so much time at work that we tend to compartmentalize our faith to Sundays and to Bible study sessions, while faith is an every moment thing. We are Our faith is part of our lives in every aspect, but we tend to compartmentalize faith to Sunday and to the religious gathering. And here I was declaring in front of everyone in the company that I was born again and a Christian for that matter. And it reminded me of the charge in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 all through to 16, that I am a light of the world. You're the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And on top of being a light wherever you are, standing firm and professing your faith also creates an environment where you have to be accountable to the people you work with, which can be scary and uncomfortable because you expect to be judged on what you confess. Right? Like now, I am ready. I'm ready to be called out on when I act against what I say I believe in. And this would be situations such as how I acted in a situation? Did I show integrity in my work? Was I honest in my work? Did I show patience? Was I humble? It's all these things because people know what is expected of a child of God. They know of the behaviors that are Christ-like. And so it creates an environment of accountability. And of course, there is a balance to strike when it comes to your faith and when it comes to professionalism. And the greatest of them is to be respectful of other people's beliefs and faith, to be respectful of other people's ways of life, and to know that just because others don't say what they believe in does not mean that you have to hide your faith or what you believe in. It's making the decision to stand firm on your faith and to profess it and confess it is also a way of witnessing, and it's a command by Christ to go out and make disciples, to witness to people around you and across the world. And so of course there is that part, and I'm continuing to learn that it's not about doing or saying the perfect thing, but it's more of being true and authentic with the people around you. And so if you're thinking about sharing your faith at your workplace, all power to you. Go for it. Stand on your faith, confess it, and allow yourself to be held accountable by your workmates. Allow yourself to be held accountable by your colleagues in the way that you act in the business, act in your workplace, and in all the places that you're in, including your social circle. And I must say that it's not been easy, especially because for me, I have been faced with situations where I was afraid of being left out. I was afraid of missing out on being around my colleagues and my friends. I found myself in situations where I had to, or rather, I tolerated uncomfortable banter or uncomfortable conversations at work because I was afraid of being left out. But right now I'm just learning about how it's about being I don't have to tolerate bad, or I don't have to tolerate uncomfortable conversation just to fit it. It's okay to stand firm on my faith. It's okay to walk away. And there are two verses in Timothy that really stand out for me. And the first one is in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, where Paul tells Timothy that for the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. And the second is in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, where Paul admonishes Timothy not to let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. And it is my hope that I can be able to live out those two verses, to know and to be able to be bold in the knowledge that the spirit that lives in me does not give me is not a spirit of fear, that it gives me power. It's a spirit of power and love and self-discipline. And not just that I have been called to set an example in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity, and in speech. That it is not just in church that I am called to do this. Even in the workplace, I have been called to set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in faith, in purity, and in love. And so, if you want to share, go on ahead, just share it, but be ready that you will be held accountable. And I think it's the best way to grow in your faith, because when people point out what you're saying and you're embracing it in a way, you're able to align your life and live your life in a Christ-like manner. Through this experience, I'm also learning and embracing the fact that faith at the workplace is not just about the big moments where you stand in front of all your colleagues and confess that you're born again, but it is in the smallest of things. How do you act in different situations at work? Do you take time to listen to a colleague who's having a hard time? Do you stand with your colleagues? How do you work when no one else is looking? How do you act? How do you respond? It's all these things wrapped up in the daily routines at work. And so I have not figured it out, honestly. It's a journey. I'm learning about how to continue being a Christian young professional that witnesses to my fellow colleagues, that lives my life in a way that people that emulate my life then get to glorify God in, like, they see God in my work, they see God in my way of doing work, and they see God in my life in general. It's a journey I'm still on. I'm figuring out every step of the way. I have not figured it out yet. And I know that it's a process of trusting God, of being gracious to people who point out things, and just being humble enough to allow yourself to be held accountable by your colleagues. And so I thank you so much for watching this video, and I charge you to go out and just stand out as a young professional, as a Christian young professional. Sell Christ. No, not sell. But for want of words, sell Christ in the way that you act. Let somebody see you, read your way of doing things, and see Christ in you and glorify God. And let's keep encouraging each other to stand firm in this faith. In a world where faith is being is not, I don't know how to say this, but in a world where being born again is not the cool thing to be, let's encourage each other to stand firm in it. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe, to like, you share it with a friend who needs it. And I hope that you can share your encouragement, your testimony, your experiences at work regarding you standing out as a Christian young professional. Just write whatever you find helpful to you, others, in the comment section below. And I hope to share more of my faith in this channel. So ask your questions, share your comments, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. So until next time, stay blessed, be you, do you, and always do your best. Until next time, bye. It's been a while. Anyway, welcome to my YouTube channel.